All right, as the title suggests, I'm going to be talking about how the Battlefield 6 beta feels like a Call of Duty clone, and essentially after playing this beta, it just feels like the Battlefield franchise has lost its way. Now, before we get started, as you can see, I have extensively played this beta, so you know this is a legitimate opinion and not just some rage bait take. I've unlocked all the challenges, I've got most of the weapon attachments unlocked, so as a Battlefield fan, it left a sour taste in my mouth. But moving on, we're going to have some gameplay footage in the background. I go about 45 kills, 10 deaths, 11 captures. With the revives mixed in between, so you know, for the gamer nerds out there, I am not some just pathetic normie loser, okay? I'm showing you gameplay in HDTV, 5G, 4G, R3, X3, that I do not touch the grass. I don't talk to the women. I'm chronically addicted to the Reddit, and let's just say I don't work that 9 to 5 job. Jokes aside, I have a job, go to college, all the good stuff. I am the audience that the stockholders are looking for, you know, the 99%, not the 1%, gamers or streamers, the 99% that makes the franchise their money. And as somebody who has played Battlefield since Bad Company as a kid, really Battlefield 3, because I had internet at the time and I was allowed to get online, this game was not it. Now, the reasons we're going to go into, the biggest one for me is the map sizes. Map sizes were way too small. I keep hearing that, oh, we're going to have bigger map sizes in the future. The way that the gunplay and the weapon balancing is centered, I don't believe it. And if you do, you're going to have a lot to work on with these weapons. But we'll get into that in a second. The map sizes were disappointing because in a Battlefield game, traditionally in the franchise, you had medium-sized maps that allowed for, you know, thought process, flanking around, and just all-out engagements. It felt like a Battlefield when you had to push up. It was time to, you know, go all out, get all 64 players in, and make that charge. Now, let me hit the pause button real quick. This is what I'm talking about. 3 lanes. Left, middle, right. That's what all these maps are, including the largest one, where it was just sniper alley, tanks in the middle, and infantry on the left, or, you know, infantry and tanks could be in the middle on the left side of the map. This was disappointing to me. We've been waiting since Battlefield 2042 or 2021 for a decent Battlefield game, and all you developers could think of was, if we copy the Call of Duty franchise, we've got it. The 3-lane maps. And what it creates, essentially, in this video, spawn die. Spawn die, that guy's shooting me. Spawn die, fast reflexes, gotta be the fastest in the world. And it's a twitch shooter. It doesn't feel like Battlefield. Is it a horrible game? No, but it's just disappointing. And the beta multiplayer count is showing it. You had about 200,000 people drop off, and what I'm thinking is it's the Battlefield fans, the ones that have been through the series thick and thin, or some of the Call of Duty fans. The next up issue is with these small maps comes the weapon balancing, character balancing, all that great and wonderful stuff. I'm going to show you some gameplay about the weapons just having no recoil whatsoever. And this is a problem because it removes a skill factor from the game. The AK-205, right? Now I get it. In the Battlefield franchise, there's some weapons that had no recoil. Like in Battlefield 1, you had the LMG with the telescopic sight, and everybody makes fun of anybody who uses it. It's just the way it is. Now, before somebody says, you are at 100 or 120 FOV, invalid opinion. Even at 90 FOV, it's the same thing. I'll go ahead and show you. This is no recoil. Now with recoil control. Absolute laser beam. Absolute laser beam. Look at that. I'm going to skip that target and show you the long-range target. Literally no recoil. Now, I'll get to my point in a second. LMG, same thing. You can turn it to 90 FOV. It's the same thing. No recoil control. Now with recoil control, laser beam, laser beam. Sometimes you get a little random kick here and there. It's just RNG, like that. But let's say 100 meters out, right? Let me just hold down the trigger. And like that's what I'm talking about, the random recoil control. Now it's smooth and steady. Last weapon, the assault rifle. Same thing. Just no recoil whatsoever, except at the 100 meters, that's where it kicks in. Now, no recoil control, now recoil control, laser beam, laser beam, laser beam. One sec. Now, the 100 plus meters, sometimes it's RNG, but sometimes I'll get straight on target. You can mag dump it, but my point is you're creating a situation where some weapons are vastly superior than other weapons. Let's go to the M403 weapon. I'll showcase this one with the heavy recoil on it. This is with no recoil control. Now with recoil control. Look at that. I'm holding it down like I've done for every other weapon, but there's kick to it, right? Let's go to the 100 meter target. I don't know how I hit it, but my point is it's all over the place. There we go. That's a good example. So you're creating this situation where I don't want to touch certain weapons. Now I grinded this. I grinded all 3 of these out. I barely touch this weapon because, you know, the recoil on it, it's not horrible, it's manageable. But moving into the next thing, this weapon is vastly superior, essentially at all ranges, to the M4. The M4 will decimate you, and that's because the fire rate is so damn high in this weapon. I'm going to watch my cursing because, you know, cursing detracts from the argument. But look at this, 900 fire rate with the 25 damage. It doesn't matter if I have 33 damage. I'm going to out fire rate you and just brr, 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 skr, you know, fucking rap song. And that's what's going on. And on top of that, look at the bullet velocity times in some of these weapons. 975 meters per second. So not only do I not have to lead you anymore, we've taken out that skill factor in Battlefield. And I understand some weapons in the older Battlefield franchises had high bullet velocity. But the majority of these guns in this game, high bullet velocity. Go to the carbine. Again, 787, so not too horrible. But go to the, what's it called? LMGs. There we go. 975 meters per second. 1,050 meters per second. Absolutely insane. It feels like a hit scan game. So we're dumbing down the skill in this game. And moving on to the sniper rifle. What were we thinking here, Debs? In Battlefield 1, it was absolutely okay to have a sniper rifle with the one-hit range. But in this game, I was over-leading my targets because I didn't realize that the bullet was going at 900 meters per second. And it removes that skill factor from the game. On top of that, I think the one-hit kill range is 75 to 100 meters. I might be wrong. But in Battlefield 1, you had varying degrees of bullet velocity. So, and on top of that, you had random ranges. But it would pay off. If you memorized the weapon, took the time to learn it, it was absolutely worth it. In this game, you just wanted to get the Call of Duty sniper crowd in here, and it shows with this weapon, with the 900 meters per second. You don't have to lead, you don't have to think, you're always tapping somebody easily. And with the kill, the sweet spot range being, you know, pretty much not far, right? Because I can tap people at 75 to 100 meters easily with the L10, as I've shown you. And this thing has no recoil whatsoever. I can show you that, or you can test it out on your own. But it creates a situation where everybody's hogging into the sniper class because they want to be MLG Pro Gamer. And that detracts from the Battlefield game. And I have some issues with the classes as well. Some of these classes are very much so unbalanced. This is the Assault class. What were we thinking with the ADS mobility, Dubs? What's going on here? You create this situation where it's side strafing in the game, and it's annoying. Now slap an SMG and you're bouncing around teleporting. I think side strafing is a dumb thing in video games. It's unrealistic. Well, you're reviving people with paddles. I get it. There's some creative liberties that the devs can have with the game, such as the reviving with paddles and magically curing bullet wounds. But side strafing is so dumb. I haven't seen it this bad since Battlefield 5, and that was only with certain attachments and weapons. But this game is ridiculous with it. People are jumping around back and forth. Like, try to side strafe in real life. You're not going to be able to do it. This needs to be removed, in my personal opinion. It is dumb. You're trying to track somebody, and he's bouncing back and forth and teleporting, especially with this game's netcode being pretty bad. And the next thing is, the perks are fine. We've had perks in Battlefield 4 and 1. I don't know if you brought it back in 5. It's been so long. But the combat stimulant, this feels like a score streak or a kill streak, essentially. Do good, and you get a stimulant, and you can be doped up and cracked out, and I can see your movements. Going to the recon class, right? There we go, recon. This is essentially UAV recon from Call of Duty. What were we thinking here? Not only do I not have to try to spot you and hit the Q key, because it requires discipline to be like, all right, let me mark this for my team and not be selfish. But look at this. I'm playing Call of Duty all over again. I'm just going to UAV recon you. Enemy UAV recon above. Oh, yeah. What were we thinking here, man? We have score streaks. I kept hearing it. We're not bringing the kill streaks. We're not bringing the score streaks. No. I mean, what do you call this? It's like going to a used car dealership, right? And saying, hey, buddy, you got any new cars? Well, I have a car with 10,000 miles on it, so it's basically brand new. Okay, so it's technically new. It's like, that's not a new car. What I'm getting at is just, you have weapons that are superior than others that you don't want to touch it. Like this thing, I don't want to use the KTS because everything outfires it, the recoil or not. I mean, the only good thing it's going for is the bullet velocity being insane. You have overpowered weapons. The shotgun, this needs to be fixed. This is ridiculous. I've grinded the shotgun, so I'm not just saying it's overpowered without putting, the work into it. This is ridiculous. I mean, check this out. The Flechette rounds, good luck. The Flechette rounds absolutely destroy everything. The one-tap range being 16 meters, sometimes 25 meters out, I would be okay with it. where somebody goes, shotguns could do that in real life. I know, I used to own a shotgun, I've shot a shotgun, I shot slugs out of a shotgun. I get it, shotguns are lethal past 16 meters. The problem is, in a video game where everybody's got a one-tap boomstick going, oh! At high speeds, it's dumb. It's dumb. On top of that, Battlefield balanced it out because it was a primary weapon. Now you made it a gadget, and with the maps being so tiny, so minuscule, guess what? I empty all the magazines from my primary using my overpowered M4, and then I whip out my boomstick, and I one-tap you, and then I put it online, and I say I'm a good Call of Duty player, because I can one-tap you with an overpowered fucking shotgun. Like, what were we thinking, man? You need to simply make this a primary weapon. Do not make this a gadget. Please don't do it, because people are going to sit there and go, Dice, you're fucking retarded. Now, again, I gotta watch my cursing, but I mean this lovingly, Dice. This is retarded. Stop trying to bring the Call of Duty players in here. Well, it can knock down walls, so what you can do is make it a non-lethal shotgun, right? Because in the army, you can have non-lethal rounds that can blow open doors and all that good stuff. That's what you could do. And then you can justify the character having a gadget slot because it's not shooting lethal rounds and it's using to breach stuff. And that's okay. So we covered that. Sorry, I have a little bit of traumatic brain injury, so yeah, I guess you're retarded then too, right? No, but I'm highly autistic at times. So we covered the KDs, the map sizes being disgusting, weapons losing that lack of skill, the engagement meters, I'll recap again, 5 to 10 meters, so spawn die, be the fastest Twitch shooter in the world. It's annoying. We're removing features from Battlefield as well. Why can't I peek? Sorry. Get the gameplay going again. Why can't I peek on my own? I'm a big boy. I've paid $60 for the Battlefield games in the past, and Battlefield 1 I paid for the special edition. I think that cost me $150 when I was deployed. So I was waiting for it to arrive. I guess you were a pogue. Yep, I was a pogue. I went to Kuwait and Iraq. You got me. You got me. But what I'm saying is, I want to be able to peek on my own without leaning up against the wall and the wall being like, all right, it's okay, yeah, just go ahead. Or because I'm tired of the amount of times where I try to get up to a wall and it's like, sorry, John, I can't let you do that. No, not too close. Error. Needs more pylons. Let me peek on my own. On top of that, you dumbed down the tank mechanics in this game. Vehicle whores, we call them vehicle whores for a reason. It is because it's easy to play tanks. In this beta, as a 50 cal gunner on the Abrams tank, I wasn't able to end up going 75 and 2, I believe. As playing as a tanker, I went 57 kills. And it's frustrating because the tank gameplay has always been easy in Battlefield, but Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5 as well, and I think, yeah, Battlefield 1 and 5, I know for sure, you had mechanics that would make being a tanker a little bit harder. Let's say you took a RPG or an anti-tank rifle to the back, right? You might have an engine crit, which would slow you down and put you in a vulnerable spot, allowing your, recons to run up with C4s and put it in a boogaloo situation. Or, I think Battlefield 1 was the assault class with the dynamite. There we go. But my point is, if you played the tank badly, you were put in a negative position, you were punished for it, and it allowed people to not feel as oppressed by tanks, and it encouraged them to engage the tank. In this beta, I wasn't feeling it. I'd never got engine crit once. The engineers repairing me, the repair speed is insanely fast, so I was sitting there just taking 5 RPGs, bouncing it off with no issue, and I was laughing like, what are you, peasants? You dare strike me with your RPG? You filthy whores. So we're dumbing down the tank mechanics, and you're making it even more oppressive for vehicle whores to decimate players, and it's unfun. You think the Call of Duty players are going to stay for that? No, they're going to bounce off. They're more concerned with the KD ratio, and when they have negative 0 to 13 KD because the Abrams tank is mowing people down, that is unfun. You need to have those weaknesses on the vehicles, but I don't want to stay on it for too long. I'll bring back the turret being destroyed, right? Which forces the tank back and gives you some breathing room. So we talked about the tanks. Sorry, 1 second. Removable features. Oh, yeah, and with the maps being so tiny, you can't dodge tanks. They're just going to laser beam you. So, the cheating. Okay, time for my 5 minutes of fame. We all know about the Riley cheater situation. If you don't know, the man, I'm going to say this again, boy, I think it's a 30-year-old dude, was cheating. The internet's gone crazy about it. At first I was like, okay, maybe he's just good. He is just good. And then I started doing some digging. Turns out he has multiple VAC bans on different Steam accounts. He's been banned for cheating in the past. So what I'm getting at is Battlefield, you were talking about banning 300,000 cheaters in the first day of the beta. What about the cheaters that are getting away? From what I can tell, Riley, this dude, was not banned after the whole controversy. On top of that guy just gave up on the revive. I could have saved him. But on top of that, you are claiming that the anti-cheat, or the kernel level anti-cheat is maxed out. But it's not. The amount of times where I will do good in a match, let's say I have 3 good matches in a row, I'm put into, because the skill-based matchmaking kicks in, I'm going to get into that as well. At times it feels like the skill-based matchmaking kicks in, you can feel it, and it gets annoying. But I get put into a cheater lobby where everybody can laser beam me. If I dare stick my left nut out at a 45-degree angle, just a pixel, he's going to lock onto my left nut, hose it down, blow my ball sack off, and as I'm bleeding on the ground trying to clutch my crotch, I'm thinking to myself, where's the anti-cheat? You were spying on me with kernel-level anti-cheat. You have my private information. You're digging through my PC. At least give me proper anti-cheat. And with the whole Riley situation, you showed that you can't keep track of people. There's blatant cheating in this game where people are laser beaming me. Guys are going 75-2, not being in a vehicle, right? Just playing on the ground. They have the world's fastest reaction time. Like, seriously, these people's reaction times, there's no reason they should get into a wreck. It's impossible. There's no way. And this game has showed me that it's riddled with cheaters, and it's annoying. My friends don't even want to play the beta anymore. They're just like, everybody has immaculate aim. And they put me to shame. Ryan. It's annoying. You need to work on your anti-cheat. This is ridiculous. If you can go back and fix Battlefield 1 and reduce the cheaters in there, why is this game just getting slapped to the wall? It's a beta! That is exhausting to hear. How many times have I heard in the past, it's a beta, guys, they're going to fix it in 3 months. Remember Broken Field 4? Right? Remember Battlefield 5's launch? Remember Battlefield 3's launch? It was absolutely disastrous. I think the only smooth one was Battlefield 1. 2042 was terrible. So stop trying to say, it's a beta, guys. It's going to get better. It's absolutely disgusting. It's filthy. Papa Filthy the Frank. Papa Frank! Absolute disgusting levels of just cheating, blatant cheating in this game, and you guys don't even know who's cheating, because if you're defending Riley at this point, who has multiple VAC bans, I mean, that gets into another thing, the whole conspiracy theory. The amount of streamers defending this dude, it's shown me that a lot of these hot streamers are cheating, and it just kind of blew the lid off of that. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next thing. So the cheats being bad. Okay, time to kill. I guess that's the last big thing. Time to kill in this game. Instantaneous. There's no, pause. Sometimes it's... Oh, actually, I have one more thing after that. The time to kill is insane. You're looking at half a second at times, especially with this gun I'm using. I'm just beaming through people at 900 RPM, and the recoil control is definitely not horrible on this weapon. Can we at least try to draw it back or maybe increase the weapon damage? I don't want to play Call of Duty. In fact, after 4 years of not touching Call of Duty, I loaded into a Call of Duty match. I could not tell the difference between Call of Duty and this game. And it frustrated me because I gave up. I stopped playing Call of Duty. I realized that it's just not for me. It's a Twitch shooter. The franchise has lost its way. I didn't sit there like... I said, hey, I just want to play Battlefield. This game is definitely for me. The time to kill is insane. Everybody's a fucking speed demon. Alright. So we discussed the time to kill. I guess the last... actually, the net code in this game. Boom. I just remembered now. Let me go ahead and rewind it. Boom. Perfect example. The net code in this game is terrible. How many games in Battlefield... It's a beta! I'm so tired of it, man. How many betas have you had where the net code is still Djibouti? I'll go ahead and show you right now. This engagement right here. Perfect example. He'll get the shot off on me first, but I come back, I put rounds into him, the shots don't register. Come back, boom. Now let's go ahead and rewind it again, so for everybody. Alright, shoots me first, I come back, I put rounds into him, shots don't register, and last time for the kids in the back. The amount of times where I've lost engagements because of this bad netcode, and this has happened throughout the Battlefield series where we just can't get it right. You are a multi-million-dollar company, just invest in some better servers, I beg you. It gets frustrating. You chase people away. I get it. Hit scan or hit reg is not going to be perfect, but your netcode is bad where people are teleporting and I'm trying to like track onto them with my mouse with not, cheating like a lot of these streamers. It gets frustrating after a while. And let me go ahead and get back to the gameplay. I forgot the time that I was at. But I guess what I'm getting at is Battlefield, as a company, as a franchise, you decided to go with the Call of Duty gamer. It's apparent. I've explained why throughout this video, what was going on. It is very apparent that you said, if we can't beat them, eat them, we need to join the Call of Duty crowd. Here's the issue. It's never going to work. Call of Duty is too big to fail. You have a franchise that has multiple franchises invested with it. They have, what was it? I think they got Freddy Krueger. I could be wrong, but they have Nicki Minaj grinding people at 5,000 RPM using her fat ass cheeks. You got Michael Myers. You got American Dad. I think you had Gundam. My point is, there's money invested into the game, right? On top of that, the skins are first in, first outs. So you can buy multiple accounts, and you have these skins that are worth a shit ton of money. And what I'm getting at is there's too much money involved. Call of Duty will never fail at this point. It's not just a shooter. It's a shooter involved with all these rare skins, all these one-tap weapons, and the amount of streamers that I've seen that go, Call of Duty's dead, I'm never going to play it again, and they go right back at it like Chris Brown and Rihanna, right? Call of Duty being Chris Brown is beating the fuck out of the Call of Duty fans, and they come back to it. They come back to it every time. Every streamer I've ever heard, I'm never going to do Call of Duty again, they're back in a month because that's what makes them money. So, on top of that, you remember back in 2019 with Modern Warfare, they were charging players $20 to see their KD ratio. If something as scummy as that from the Call of Duty devs doesn't chase players away and the community keeps coming back every single year, and then they complain about the weapons being overpowered and going, this is horrible, but every streamer in the world buys it, and then everybody else buys it to have a chance, and then they nerf the weapon. If that doesn't chase away players, how in the world are you going to compete with Call of Duty? You don't have these massive franchises or legendary weapon skins or legendary one-tap weapons. You don't have that. You're not going to pull them with the gameplay. I'm sorry. I mean, Call of Duty is Call of Duty. Call of Duty does it better. Right? I used to play Call of Duty. It does its gameplay better. On top of that, there's the skill-based matchmaking combines with the skill-based damage. Everybody knows it. You can watch a video on it. That doesn't even chase away players. Where the game is designed to keep you at a 1.0 KD ratio as hard as it is. Now there's exceptions where there's amazing gamers, but the game is designed to keep you at a 1.0 KD ratio. Call of Duty players don't abandon it. You cannot compete with this high-functioning level of retardation. You need to focus on your Battlefield fans. And with the way you're going right now in the beta, losing 200,000 players, and that's a beta, my friends are not coming back and touching this game. That should bother you. Sorry if you hear family in the background, it's Monopoly night. But that should bother you, that you lost 200,000 players out the bat. Remember Helldivers? For 3 months, it held 500,000 players until they fucked up that game. So you need to make a decision at DICE. You've got 3 months to fix this. That's impossible. I know it's going to be a rough launch. You need to go, hey, do we focus on our fans that make us money and they come back every year? Or are we going to focus on the Call of Duty players that are not going to stick around? I guarantee you every streamer holding your hand, sucking your wiener at Mach 5 speed, they're going to go right back to Call of Duty because as soon as Daddy comes calling, you're going to go right back to it. They're gonna go right back to it. That's what makes them their money. They've got too many contracts with Activision. So rant and rave aside, you need to focus on your Battlefield players because what brought me to Battlefield was when I loaded into Battlefield 3 and I was frustrated. I couldn't understand the weapon lead times, and then I came back and I was like, I really want to learn this game. And that's when I was playing Black Ops 2 as a teenager. But I started learning the game, and I enjoyed both games until Call of Duty's lost its mind. It's not Call of Duty anymore. It's just a hollow shell of cheesery. But I stuck with Battlefield because there is a level of skill. It requires patience. It requires trying to figure it out. It's fun. There's so many things going on. And it's sad to see that you've decided to cash out. You're not going to win this battle. Call of Duty will outsell you. It's done it every year. No matter what the Call of Duty devs do to the player base, they come back like a fucking crack addict trying to get its fix on the street corner. focus on the Battlefield fans. Now, with the ranting and raving aside, before somebody goes, haha, look at you whining, I'm using my First Amendment right. Unlike, people in the UK where they get stabbed by a local Muslim man, and if you try to complain, the bobbies come along and send you to the prison, right? I have freedom of speech in my country. I'm not whining, it's just frustrating to see how far you guys have fallen. Alright, I think I've covered everything. That's it. I'm going to go enjoy Monopoly.